In today's life, we may not see cavemen or saber-toothed tigers, but our bodies still follow the same hidden instructions written in our DNA. Just like the tribe member with a unique trait, each of us carries strengths and weaknesses shaped by these tiny codes. Sometimes our instructions work perfectly, giving us health and resilience. Other times, mistakes appear, leading to illness or struggle. This reminds us that life is not about chasing perfection, but about embracing who we are, caring for our health wisely, and treating others with kindness, because every person is already wonderfully unique. My dear child, you didn't stumble upon this by chance. You were led here. Something greater than logic, stronger than coincidence, has been guiding your steps. Not because you were lost, but because your heart has been calling for something real. And I heard that call. I, the one who formed you in secret, who breathed life into your lungs before the world even saw your face. I brought you here to speak directly to you, not to scold, not to shame, but to embrace you with words your soul has longed to hear. You see, I've watched you walk through moments where everything inside you was screaming for peace, for clarity, for release. You have been holding on with a quiet strength, pretending at times that everything is fine when deep inside you were waiting for me to speak. And here I am, not in thunder, not in fire, but in a still, undeniable whisper that finds its way past your defenses. These are not just comforting words. This is a spiritual alignment, a realignment of your heart with mine. Because what I have for you is not rooted in temporary relief, but in lasting healing. You've been carrying wounds you thought would never close, but I'm here to tell you, I have never turned my face away from you. Even in the nights you couldn't sleep, even in the moments you couldn't pray, even when you questioned if I was still with you, I was. I am. I always will be. You've been surrounded by noise voices from the past, echoes of disappointment, fears of being forgotten or replaced. But hear me now. You are irreplaceable. No voice can mimic yours. No soul can take your place in my heart. I see the battles that rage behind your smile, the pressure you put on yourself to keep going, to keep showing up, to not fall apart. And yet, I never asked you to carry that alone. You've been fighting battles I already won. You've been dragging burdens I already lifted. You've been surviving when I designed you to live fully. Let that sink in. You were not made for constant strain. You were made for connection first with me, then with the world around you. And everything starts here with this moment of awareness. I'm pulling back the curtain that shame tried to keep closed. I'm breaking the silence that fear tried to enforce, and I'm saying to you, your soul matters, your pain matters, your healing matters, because you matter to me. I know you've questioned why some things took so long to change, why prayers seemed unanswered, why doors stayed shut. But what if I told you I was working in the delay? What if I told you I've been preparing you, not punishing you, protecting you, not ignoring you? You see, I don't waste time. And I certainly don't waste your tears. Every drop that fell from your eyes, I caught it. Every groan too deep for words, I interpreted it. I've been close all along, not as a spectator, but as a father, a healer, a defender. And I'm not just watching your journey, I'm walking it with you. When your heart felt numb, I stayed. When your words ran dry, I listened. When your faith flickered, I shielded it from going out because that's what love does. And I am love, not in theory, not in abstraction, but in presence, in reality, in power. And my power is being poured over your life right now. Not because you earned it, not because you performed perfectly, but because I'm good and because you are mine. Let me speak directly to the shame that's been haunting you. You are not a mistake. You are not too broken. You are not behind. You are not too late. I never measure you by the standards of this world. I measure you by the truth of who you are in beyond. That truth says, chosen, seen, redeemed, loved. I didn't come to remind you of what you've lost. I came to restore what's still yours. And it starts with the healing of your inner world. Because the future I've planned for you cannot be built on silent pain. So let me go there with you, to the places you've hidden, the parts you've ignored, the memories you avoid. I don't flinch at your wounds. I restore them. Even now, I'm touching areas of your heart you thought would remain locked forever. You're not crazy for still feeling things you thought you buried. That's called life trying to rise again. That's me reviving what trauma tried to kill. You weren't meant to stay numb. You were meant to feel and feel safely, fully without fear of rejection. That's why I'm here, not to diagnose you, but to deliver you, not to label you, but to love you. And love is patient. So take your time. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let the questions rise if they must. I can handle all of it. You've handled so much alone, but now you don't have to. This moment is sacred, and I'm not in a rush. I'm not waiting for you to perform. I'm just asking you to be present because when you're present with me, healing flows. Not always in loud ways, but in deep, steady, transformative currents. I'm rewriting inner narratives that told you you're unworthy. I'm silencing voices that said you'll never be enough. I'm interrupting patterns that kept you stuck because you've always been meant for more than survival. You were born for wholeness, and that wholeness begins here in honesty, in surrender, in my presence. Stay with me here. Don't retreat. I know it's vulnerable. I know you're used to hiding behind strength, but I never asked for your perfection. I asked for your heart. And now that you've opened it, I will not let this moment pass by without pouring my healing into you. Everything that hurt you will lose its hold. Every lie will collapse under the weight of truth. And truth is this: you are loved deeply and irrevocably. You are seen fully and without shame. You are safe now and forever in me. The silence you've endured wasn't abandonment. It was preparation. I don't remain quiet to punish. I remain quiet to deepen. Because in the stillness, something deeper awakens. In the quiet, your roots stretch further into my truth. And even when it felt like I had withdrawn, I was actually drawing you closer. Not by noise, not by spectacle, but by presence. A presence so constant it became invisible. A presence so close, you confused it for absence. But I've been here all along, watching the questions rise in your heart, feeling the weight of the confusion you carried silently and preparing the soil of your soul for something unshakable. You're not just stepping into healing, you're becoming the healing. There's a reason I've preserved your heart through it all. There's a reason your soul still hungers for something more. That longing is sacred. It's not weakness. It's evidence that you haven't given up. That somewhere deep inside, even beneath the exhaustion and pain, your spirit remembered me. And that remembering is enough for me to move. I'm not looking for perfect faith. I'm responding to honest hunger. And when your heart says, "God, I don't know what to do anymore," I answer, "Let me lead." Because when you reach the end of yourself, you find the beginning of my power. You've tried to fix yourself, to push through, to keep functioning, but healing isn't about functioning, it's about freedom. And freedom doesn't come by striving, it comes by surrender. I'm not waiting for your performance, I'm waiting for your permission. I don't want a rehearsed version of you. I want the real you, the tired you, the angry you, the confused and doubting and aching you. Because I'm not intimidated by any part of you. In fact, those parts are the ones I hold most tenderly. You don't have to pretend here. You don't have to explain. You just have to be. And in that place of being, I will do the deepest work of all. You've been told that strength looks like holding it all together, but I say strength is found in letting go. Letting go of the need to prove yourself. Letting go of the fear of being too much or not enough. Letting go of timelines, expectations, and the pressure to always be okay. Because true strength is not performance, it's presence. It's staying with me when nothing makes sense. It's trusting me when clarity hasn't come yet. It's believing that I'm good even when life isn't. That's the kind of strength I'm cultivating in you. Not strength that hardens you, but strength that softens you and makes space for me. Every lie you believed about yourself is being unraveled slowly, gently, but completely. You are not invisible. You are not too far gone. You are not forgotten. The world may have overlooked you, misjudged you, mislabeled you, but I never have. I know your real name. The one I whispered over you before you were even formed. The one that hell has tried to erase, but never could. You've been walking with an identity that doesn't belong to you, formed by trauma, shaped by fear, dressed in shame. But I'm removing those garments now, not to expose you, but to clothe you in truth, in dignity, in peace, in restoration. Let me remind you of what's still possible. Let me awaken the dreams that grief buried. Let me breathe life into places that feel dry and brittle. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't ruined your purpose. I'm not limited by your detours. In fact, I often use the wilderness to refine the ones I love. And your wilderness is about to bloom. Not because the pain didn't happen, but because I'm turning it into something beautiful. That's what I do. I don't waste suffering. I repurpose it. I plant seeds of glory in the soil of what once hurt you. And those seeds are beginning to sprout. You don't need to force anything to grow. Just stay with me. Stay grounded in my presence. Stay honest in your prayers. Stay open to what I want to show you next. Because I'm not just trying to bring you comfort. I'm trying to lead you into transformation. And transformation begins where pretending ends. So let's keep going deeper into the spaces you've avoided. Into the fears you've silenced. Into the questions you were told not to ask. Because I'm not afraid of any of it. I welcome it. I invite it. I will meet you and I can bring light where there was darkness. Clarity where there was confusion. And joy where there was despair. I want to speak to that hidden place inside you that still wonders if things will ever change. Listen to me closely. Yes, they will. Yes, healing is real. Yes, new beginnings are coming, not in vague promises, but in tangible shifts, in divine appointments, in moments that surprise you with grace, in breakthroughs you couldn't manufacture. Even if you tried, I will do it. I'm already doing it. Even if you don't see it yet, trust that the foundation is being laid. I'm building something within you that cannot be shaken, and when it's time to step forward, you won't have to force it. It will be clear. It will be peaceful. It will be me. I have never forgotten what I spoke over your life, even when you did, even when others dismissed it. Even when your circumstances seem to contradict it, my word remains. My promise still stands, and I am faithful to complete the work I began in you. You don't have to figure it all out right now. You don't have to be fearless to move forward. You just have to keep saying yes. Yes to my presence. Yes to my healing. Yes to believing again. I will take care of the rest. So inhale, child. Let go of the weight you were never meant to carry. Exhale, and let my peace flood the places anxiety once ruled. You are not alone in this. You never were. And the story I'm writing through your life, it's not over. In fact, some of the most beautiful chapters are just beginning. I know how tired your soul has become, not just physically weary, but worn from the inside out, carrying silent wars, shouldering responsibilities you never asked for, trying to keep a smile on your face while something inside quietly fractures. I've seen it all. The way you've pushed forward even when the strength wasn't there. The way you've tried to keep believing even when hope felt distant. The way you've loved others while secretly wondering if anyone truly sees you. And I need you to understand this. I see you. I always have. I've never overlooked a single tear you've hidden. Never dismissed a single moment of struggle. You were never invisible to me. There's been a deep ache you couldn't explain. A longing not satisfied by achievement or affirmation or even temporary peace. That longing is sacred. It's the echo of your spirit remembering mere true source, your true home. You've looked in so many places to find relief, to feel safe, to feel whole. And while I've used people, moments, and miracles to carry you, it's time to return to the well that never runs dry. I'm that well. And right now, I'm calling you back to what your soul has always needed. My presence, my truth, my healing love. This isn't about religion or rituals. It's about relationship. One where nothing needs to be earned, where grace meets you exactly where you are, not where you think you should be. You don't need to clean yourself up to come close. You just need to come. Bring me the mess, the doubt, the confusion. Bring me the parts of you that feel too complicated, too tired, too far gone. I specialize in broken things. I restore what others discard. And you, my child, are not beyond repair. You're already in the process of restoration. You've been hard on yourself for too long, measuring your worth by how much you get done, how strong you appear, how few mistakes you make. But I don't love you because you succeed. I love you because you're mine. And that love doesn't shift when you fall short. It doesn't retreat when you're struggling. It doesn't evaporate when you doubt. My love is constant, unshaken, deeper than the oceans, and older than time itself. And I'm not tired of you. I'm not annoyed by your process. I'm not impatient with your healing. I'm walking with you through it step by step, breath by breath. There is no shame in needing time. There is no weakness in needing help. You don't have to carry this pain in silence anymore. Let me lift it. Let me hold you where no one else has known how to. Let me speak to the parts of you that have been too afraid to hope again. You've been betrayed, disappointed, forgotten, but not by me. My faithfulness has never wavered. Even when others walked away, I stayed. Even when the fire got too hot and you couldn't see a way out, I was in it with you. I'm still in it with you. And I'm not just keeping you alive. I'm preparing you to thrive. There are parts of you that haven't even bloomed yet. Gifts, dreams, and callings still untouched by pain. And though life tried to shut them down, I've preserved them, hidden them like seeds in winter, waiting for the right season. That season is approaching. And when it comes, it won't look like striving. It will feel like coming home to who you were always meant to be. No more pretending, no more shrinking, no more carrying weights I never asked you to bear. I'm redefining your identity, not based on your past, but on my promises, not based on your trauma, but on your truth. You are not the worst thing that's happened to you. You are not your failures or your regrets or your darkest days. You are my beloved. You are chosen. You are a light bearer. Even when you feel surrounded by darkness and that light, my light in you cannot be extinguished. It may flicker, but it will not go out because I myself sustain it. So stop disqualifying yourself from the good I'm trying to bring. Stop rehearsing your mistakes like they're the final verdict. They're not. I've already written the verdict hand. It says forgiven, redeemed, restored. You don't need to punish yourself anymore. You don't need to earn back what I've already freely given. Just receive. Receive the healing that's flowing to your heart even now. Receive the peace that surpasses understanding. Receive the comfort that doesn't demand explanation. I'm not here to analyze you. I'm here to love you. I know there are things you've never said out loud, fears that feel too ugly, thoughts that make you feel disqualified, memories that still carry weight. I see them all, and I still call you worthy. I still call you mine. I still delight in you. Yes, you. The one who thinks they're too complicated, too broken, too messy to be loved. Well, let me be the first to tell you. You are more loved than you know, and there is nothing too complicated for me to handle. I'm not overwhelmed by what overwhelms you. I don't flinch at your honesty. I welcome it. Let go of the lie that says you have to be strong all the time. You don't. You were created to rely on me, not as a crutch, but as your source, your anchor, your guide. And I will not let go of you. I will not fail you. I will not turn away when things get dark. In fact, I do some of my best work in the dark. That's where I speak gently. That's where I rebuild what was broken. That's where I remind you who you really are. You've mistaken survival for living, but I created you for so much more than survival. I designed you not just to endure the pain, but to transcend it. Not just to cope, but to be renewed. There is a fire I placed inside you that no storm has managed to extinguish. Even though it's flickered in the winds of despair, that fire, my spirit within you, has sustained you through nights where no words could soothe and no one could reach the depth of your sorrow. But I could. I did. And I am still here, ready to fan that flame back to life until it becomes a blaze of hope so radiant that even your scars will begin to shine with purpose. You don't need to apologize for the wounds that are still healing. Healing doesn't follow the timeline the world expects. I'm not measuring you by speed, but by surrender. The deepest restoration doesn't happen in haste. It happens in the still hidden work of grace. When no one else applauds, when nothing looks different on the outside, I'm restoring the inside. And those quiet, unseen transformations are the most powerful because they cannot be taken from you. They are the foundations I build my promises on. And child, you are being rebuilt into something unshakable. From EOEO, not despite what you've been through, but because of it. Every experience that tried to define you has only served to refine you, what the enemy meant for harm. I am turning for good. I've seen every betrayal, every disappointment, every injustice, and I have not overlooked a single one. I carry justice in my hands, and I will make all things right. But my first act of justice is to restore your heart, to return to you what was stolen, your joy, your peace, your sense of worth, your dreams. I will not let what hurt you become the final word in your story. I write the final word, and I am still writing it now. Some of what you've walked through wasn't punishment. It was pruning. I was removing what couldn't stay for where I'm taking you, not to harm you, but to make space for the fruit that's coming. It felt like loss, and in many ways it was, but not senseless, lost, sacred clearing. Because the soil of your soul needed to be made ready for the weight of the blessing I'm preparing to pour out. And I don't build on shallow ground. I build on depth. And depth takes time, pain, pressure. But it also produces something eternal, something nothing, and no one can uproot. You've tried to carry it all on your own because you thought that's what strength looked like. But real strength isn't self-sufficiency. It's radical dependence on me. And I haven't called you to carry everything. I've called you to cast it. To cast your burdens, your fears, your anxieties, your endless to-do lists, your broken expectations, your secret disappointments. Cast them at my feet, and let me carry what was never yours to hold. Your soul was never meant to live in tension. I created you to dwell in rest, to move from peace, to breathe from trust. You've asked me if I still speak, if I still guide, if I still move. The answer is yes. I am speaking even now, not with thunder or spectacle, but with the kind of voice that silences storms within. I am guiding you even when your steps feel uncertain. Every delay has had purpose. Every detour has taught you something eternity will use. I do not waste time, and I do not waste pain. What feels like waiting is often me working behind the scenes. Inside your heart, aligning what needs to align before release comes. So don't mistake my pace for my absence. I'm here. I'm active. I am intentional. I know it's been hard to keep your heart open when so much of life has tried to convince you to close it. But don't let pain teach you the wrong lesson. Pain may have taught you to guard your love, to lower your hope, to expect less. But I'm teaching you to love again, to hope higher, to believe in miracles. Because what's ahead is not a repeat of what's behind. I'm doing a new thing. It's already springing up, even now. And just because you can't see the full picture yet doesn't mean the painting isn't already in progress. You are not forgotten in the process. You are being formed by it. Let me speak to your identity again. You are not fragile. You are not too broken to be used. You are not a mistake that needs fixing. You are a vessel that I'm filling with power and purpose. You were created with intention, chosen for impact, anointed for this generation. Your voice matters. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your prayers shake darkness. You are not random. You are a divine strategy in human form. And even if you feel insignificant, heaven knows your name. Angels have moved on your behalf. My spirit has marked you. You are not overlooked. You are positioned. So stop rehearsing every failure. I never asked you to be flawless. I asked you to be real. Stop believing the voice that tells you you're not ready, not spiritual enough, not healed enough. If you had to be perfect to be used, no one would ever be called. I use the wounded to bring healing, the doubters to declare faith, the weak to demonstrate my strength. You're not disqualified by your journey. You're prepared by it. And the very places where you've bled will become rivers of compassion for others. Your scars are not shameful. They are signs of survival, signs of resurrection, signs that you and I have unfinished business. So let go of what you thought your story had to look like. Let go of the timeline you've clung to, the picture you built in your head, the version of yourself you thought you had to become. I'm writing a better story, one you couldn't have imagined because it's being written by grace, not performance. And in this story, nothing is wasted. Not your tears, not your questions, not even your silence. I'm weaving it all into something that will one day make you weak, not from pain, but from wonder. The wonder of how I held you, how I never let go, how I kept every promise in ways you never saw coming. You don't need to strive to be loved by me. My love is not a finish line you're trying to reach. It's the foundation you already stand on. I didn't wait for you to be perfect before I loved you. I didn't wait for you to fix yourself, earn your way back, or prove your worth. My love existed before your first breath, and it will outlast every failure, every regret, every valley you'll ever walk through. It's not a feeling I extend when you perform well. It's my very nature, unchanging and eternal. When I say you are loved, I don't mean it lightly. I mean it with the full weight of heaven behind it. You spent too much time comparing your progress to others, measuring your steps against timelines that were never written for you. But I didn't call you to run someone else's race. I've called you to walk with me at the pace of grace. And yes, that pace may feel slower than you expected. It may not look impressive to those watching, but what I build with you in the slow, sacred process will last longer than anything built in haste. You don't need to catch up. You need to trust. I'm not rushing you, And I'm not disappointed in where you are. I'm walking beside you, not as a judge, but as a father. There have been seasons when you felt like you lost me, when my voice felt silent and my presence seemed distant. But I need you to know, I never left. Even in the silence, I was near. Even in the confusion, I was holding the pieces. Sometimes what you called absence was actually protection. What felt like delay was me orchestrating something better than what you asked for. And when you cried, wondering if I still heard you, I was closer than your breath, catching every tear. I have not abandoned you. I never will. You've asked me for signs, for confirmation, for clarity, and here I am speaking plainly. You are on the right path. It may feel unfamiliar. It may stretch you in ways you didn't expect. But you are not lost. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to receive what I have prepared, and I will not let you miss it. Jag sin bon. What is for, you will not pass you by, because I myself have written it into your destiny. So rest even when you can't see the full picture. You're not meant to carry the blueprint. You're meant to trust the builder. I know it's hard to trust after disappointment. I know how much courage it takes to hope again after being let down. To open your heart again after betrayal, to believe in joy after a season of sorrow. But that courage is growing in you even now. And it's not reckless, it's holy. Because trusting me is never wasted. Even when the outcome isn't what you imagined, trusting me is always the safest place to stand. I see the entire map. I know what's around the corner. And I am incapable of failing you. My plans for you are not fragile. They are divinely secured. So breathe deeper. Drop your shoulders. Let go of the pressure to hold it all together. You are never meant to carry the weight of your world alone. I am not only with you, I am in you, empowering you, covering you. When you don't know what to pray, I'm interpreting the groans of your spirit. When you can't speak hope, I'm singing over you in the unseen realm. You are not weak for needing help. You are wise for turning to the one who holds all strength. And right now, my strength is filling you not in a flash, but in a quiet, steady current that will not run dry. Stop trying to earn what I already gave you freely. Stop disqualifying yourself because of what you think you should have done by now. Grace doesn't operate on deadlines. My mercy is not a limited resource. You haven't used up your chances. You haven't run out of time. If you woke up today, that means there is still purpose alive in you, and not just general purpose, specific, personal, irreplaceable purpose. What I have placed in you cannot be duplicated. Your voice, your perspective, your healing, your testimony, yet matters deeply. The world needs what I've placed inside you, and I will bring it forth in its time. You've carried shame like a second skin, wearing it quietly beneath your smile. But shame is not your portion. I didn't create you to walk in self-hatred or inner judgment. I created you to walk in sonship, in belovedness, in holy confidence. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the canvas of my redemption, and I'm painting something radiant with the very colors of your past. What once felt like ruin is becoming restoration. What once felt like death is giving way to resurrection. And you, my child, are not a lost cause. You are my ongoing masterpiece. So come as you are. You don't have to wait until you feel more spiritual, more healed, more certain. Just bring me your honesty, your doubts, your hopes, your anger, your weariness. I can handle it all. I'm not afraid of your rawness. I welcome it. I'd rather have your honest questions than your rehearsed religion. I want your heart, not your performance. And the more you bring me the real you, the more you'll realize you've never been unloved, unseen, or unwanted, not for a single moment. The breakthrough you're longing for may not look like fireworks. Sometimes it looks like finally being able to breathe again. Sometimes it looks like waking up with peace instead of panic. Sometimes it looks like forgiving someone who never apologized or finally believing that your worth isn't up for debate. These are miracles too. Don't overlook the quiet victories. Don't despise the slow healing. I'm in it all. And if you could see what I see in you, the resilience, the beauty, the courage, you would weep with gratitude. You're doing better than you think. And I am so proud of you. I see how tired your soul has become from carrying questions without answers, from holding on to pieces of a life you no longer recognize. That noise. From waking up each day and silently wondering how much longer you have to pretend to be strong. But listen to me, child. I never asked you to pretend. I never required performance. What I asked for is your honesty, your surrender, your willingness to be held when you feel like falling. You don't need to wear masks with me. You don't have to explain your pain to me. I know its source, its weight, and its purpose. And I'm not standing far off observing. I'm kneeling beside you, wrapping arms of mercy around every part of you you've tried to hide, even the parts you don't love, I call beloved. You've come through storms that tried to redefine you, but they didn't. You've walked through valleys where hope was a whisper, but you didn't stop walking. That endurance was not your own. It was my spirit sustaining you when your strength ran out. Every time you chose to keep going when you didn't feel like it, heaven saw. Every silent prayer, every moment you held on to me with trembling hands, every tear you cried in secret, I was there. You've wondered if it made a difference. Let me assure you, it did. Nothing you've walked through has been in vain. Every ounce of pain, every ounce of faith is being redeemed into something eternal. You are not your struggle. You are not your trauma. You are not the names life tried to attach to you. You are who I say you are. And I say you are mine. I say you are whole, even while you're healing. I say you are chosen even when you feel overlooked. I say you are strong even while you're learning to stand again. My identity for you is not built on performance. It's built on my unchanging word. You may forget who you are in moments of fear, but I never forget. I'm always calling you by your real name, not the ones shame or regret gave you. You're not the abandoned one. You're not the broken one. You are the one I delight in. Sometimes the healing I bring doesn't look like what you expected. Sometimes it looks like me taking away what you thought you needed so I can give you what will actually set you free. I know how deeply you wanted some things to work out. I know how long you prayed for them, but I also know what they would have cost you. I protect you not just from danger, but from deception. I don't just deliver you from harm. I deliver you from compromise. You think I said no to punish you. I said no because I saw what you couldn't. And what I have planned instead will not only restore your heart, it will elevate your destiny beyond what you were settling for. Don't fear starting over. I am not finished with your story. In fact, I am just beginning a chapter that will heal the rest. I know it feels like you've lost too much to recover, but nothing is ever truly lost in my hands. I am the God who resurrects, the God who breathes new life into dry places, the God who turns mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, and barrenness into blessing. I can rebuild from ruins. I can restore what you thought was too far gone. I can do it not because of your perfection, but because of my faithfulness. You've carried expectations about your future that were never yours to carry. You've tried to plan your way out of fear. Tried to build a life so safe that nothing could hurt you again. But I'm not calling you to safety. I'm calling you to surrender. Trusting me doesn't mean everything will always go according to your plan. It means you'll never have to face anything without me. And I promise this, every place of risk you take with me will be filled with my provision. Every step of faith will be met with grace. You were never meant to control the future. You were meant to walk in freedom. Let me rewrite the definition of peace for you. Peace is not the absence of conflicts, my presence in the middle of it. Peace is the ability to breathe when nothing around you makes sense. To sleep when the storm hasn't passed yet. To smile when answers haven't arrived. That's what I give you. Not a fragile peace that depends on outcomes, but a lasting peace that flows from knowing who holds it all. So when anxiety creeps in, return to me. Not as a last resort, but as your first instinct. I am your home, your refuge, your anchor in every way. I am not in love with a future version of you. I don't love you more when you're productive or when you're praised. I love you right now in your undone, unfinished, unfolding state. I call you precious. And no matter how far you feel, my love has not decreased. Your distance hasn't disqualified you. Even in the places where you pulled away, I stayed. Even when you chose fear over faith, I remain faithful because my commitment to you is not based on your performance. It's based on my promise, and my promise is everlasting. There are gifts in you you haven't even discovered yet, parts of your calling that haven't awakened because the time wasn't right. But I'm awakening them now, the shaking you felt recently. It's not destruction, it's activation. I'm stirring what's been asleep. I'm reviving what fear tried to bury. You don't need to force it. Just stay open. Stay yielded. I'll open the doors you've knocked on in silence. I'll bring the right people, the right timing, the right provision. And when it happens, you won't need to strive. You'll know it's me because it will carry my peace. You're not behind. You're not too late. You haven't missed your moment. I am not limited by time or circumstances. I know how to redeem what was lost, how to fast-track what was delayed, how to bring harvest where others only see dry ground. And I'm doing that for you. Even now, even as you read this, I am aligning things behind the scenes that will bring tears of gratitude to your eyes. You'll see. You'll testify. You'll stand in the middle of the very thing you thought you'd never reach, and you'll say, "Only God could have done this." I've seen the moments where your hope flickered like a fragile flame. When you barely believed the words you were whispering to me, I watched you pray through tears, wondering if any of it mattered. If I still heard, if I still cared, let me answer you now. Every single cry mattered. Not one syllable was lost in the wind. I gathered every word like treasure, held every ache as sacred, and stood closer than your skin as you poured out your soul. You didn't just survive those nights, you invited me into the rawest places of your humanity. That kind of surrender moves heaven. That kind of trust, even when it feels microscopic, shakes the gates of hell. You've tried to fix things that were never your responsibility to fix. You've tried to save people I never asked you to carry. And while your compassion is beautiful, I never intended for it to crush you. Lay it down now. Lay down the pressure to be the answer for everyone else. That role is already taken by me. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to breathe without guilt. You are allowed to say no to what drains you and yes to what restores you. I'm not glorified by your burnout. I'm not honored by your exhaustion. I want to see you whole, rested, revived. So give yourself the permission I've already granted to step back and be refilled. You keep looking for evidence that you're enough, but the proof isn't in your productivity. It's in the cross. I didn't wait until you earned your worth. I declared it long before you could offer me anything. Your value isn't up for negotiation. It was settled when I chose to make you in my image. That means your identity is not fragile. It is not dependent on performance, appearance, applause, or approval. It is rooted in me. And I don't make mistakes. You weren't an afterthought. You weren't a cosmic accident. You were intentional, handcrafted, and born with purpose already encoded in your very breath. I want to talk to you in ways you'll understand, not just in quiet times or religious spaces, but in the ordinary. I'll speak through nature, through a lyric, through a sudden peace, through the person who texts you just when you need it. Don't limit how I show up. I'm more creative than you think, and I'm more involved than you realize. You've asked me to be near, beloved. I already am. You've asked me to speak. Must I never stop? Sometimes the volume of your fears drowns out my whisper, but my voice is still steady, still sure, still pursuing you with relentless affection. You don't have to chase me. You just have to notice. The lies you've believed for so long are breaking, not because of your striving, but because of my truth rising in you. The old names are crumbling. The shame is losing its grip. The fear is shrinking in the light of my presence. This is not just encouragement, it's deliverance. I'm not just comforting you. I'm freeing you from addiction, from self-hatred, from scarcity mindsets, from generational patterns, from every chain you didn't even realize you were dragging. My child, this is your exodus. You're not going back. You're not staying stuck. I'm pulling you forward with the strength of heaven itself. Let's talk about your dreams, the ones you buried, the ones that felt too big, too unrealistic, too delayed. I didn't forget them. Some of them came from me. And even the ones that didn't, I can still use them. I'm the Redeemer, remember. I take what was broken and make it beautiful. I take what was wasted and make it fruitful. It's not too late to dream again. Not with me. Not when I'm the one breathing life into your imagination. You're allowed to hope for more. You're allowed to believe for things beyond survival. I didn't call you to just get by. I called you to live fully, boldly, abundantly. And yes, I know what they said about you. I know how they treated you, how they misunderstood you, how they left you when you needed them most. I saw it all, and I'm not ignoring it. I'm healing it. I'm defending your name in rooms you'll never enter. I'm restoring your honor in ways you couldn't orchestrate. I'm handling justice and no in revenge, but in restoration. What they meant for harm, I'm already using for your elevation. The tables are turning, child, and when I prepare a feast for you, it won't be hidden. It will be in the presence of those who tried to silence your voice. I do not forget those who were faithful in the shadows. There's a softness I'm returning to your heart. Not weakness, softness. The tenderness you shut down to survive. I'm awakening again. It's safe now. You don't have to stay hardened to avoid pain. You don't have to keep your guard so high that nothing can touch you. I'm your shield. I'm your protector. And I'm also the one who's inviting you to feel again, to trust again, to laugh again, to love without armor. You were never meant to numb yourself. You are meant to experience life in its fullness, even the fragile parts. And I will walk with you through all of it. Some breakthroughs will come in a moment. Others will unfold over time. But whether it happens suddenly or slowly, trust this, it will happen. I finish what I start, and I started something holy in you. I planted seeds long before you saw any fruit. But fruit takes time, and growth often happens in hiddenness. So don't panic if you can't see results yet. Trust the root system I'm developing beneath the surface. What's growing underground will eventually break through, and when it does, it will be strong enough to last. I'm not building for short-term success. I'm building for eternal impact. And even now, as you read these words, I am filling your spirit with fresh wind. Can you feel it? That quiet reassurance that maybe, just maybe, you're not forgotten. That something sacred is happening inside you. that you're not as far as you thought, that your story isn't over, that your voice still matters, that healing is not a fantasy, it's a promise. This isn't just emotion, it's divine confirmation. I'm reminding you of what you already knew deep down. I am here. I am faithful, and I'm not finished with you yet. There is something I placed in you before you ever took your first breath. Something unshakable, incorruptible, untouchable by the storms of life. And though the winds have come hard against you, though life has pressed in from every side, that inner flame has not gone out. Others may have looked at you and seen weakness. They may have pointed out your flaws, magnified your struggles, dismissed your worth. But I've always looked deeper. I've always seen the treasure. I never stopped seeing the fire. And now I am stoking it again. Not for others to validate you, but for you to remember who you are when all the noise falls away and it's just you and me. This is not the end of your story. I need you to hear that not as a cliché, but as a holy declaration. You have mourned what was lost, and rightly so. You have grieved the moments you can't get back. And I have sat with you in every one of those tears. I didn't rush you. I didn't tell you to move on. I let you feel it all because I care about your heart more than your timeline. But now, as healing begins to take root in places you thought would remain numb forever, I'm telling you something new is being written. And this next chapter does not come with sorrow as its theme. It comes with resurrection, with joy, with purpose you can taste again. You've walked through valleys that would have broken many. You've endured silent seasons where my voice seemed distant and my presence faint, but I was never gone. I was teaching you how to recognize me in the stillness, in the silence, in the in-between. Faith is forged in those moments, not when everything makes sense, but when nothing does, and you choose to believe anyway. And that is exactly what you did. So don't underestimate what's been built in the quiet. Don't dismiss the spiritual muscles you developed when no one saw the wrestle. You have become strong in the unseen places, and that strength will carry you when it's time to stand in the light again. There are doors that were closed, not because you weren't good enough, but because I was protecting you. You cried when they slammed shut. You questioned me when the path shifted, but you don't see the full battlefield. I do. I saw what was behind those open invitations. I saw what would have drained you, derailed you, or destroyed your peace. And I said, no, not because I'm cruel, but because I'm kind. My no is always a redirection towards something better, not a punishment for your desires. You don't have to fear closed doors when you trust the hand that holds the keys. I'm not just leading you, I'm shielding you. And what I open for you, no one will be able to shut. You've been asking me for clarity, for answers, for signs, and I'm not withholding them. I'm training your discernment because I want more than for you to follow signs. I want you to know my heart. I want you to recognize my whisper in the middle of noise. I want you to sense my nudge when all logic tells you to go another way. That kind of intimacy comes not just through information, but through connection. So lean in, stay close. I won't let you wander off the path, but I also won't force you to trust me. That's the beauty of love. It always makes room for your freedom. And yet, I will keep whispering. I will keep reminding you. I will keep loving you back to the truth every single time. You are not too late. You are not behind. You have not missed your moment. I know how time weighs on you. I know how the enemy plays tricks with regret, how he loves to replay your past on loop until you're convinced you can't start again. But I'm breaking that loop. Right now, with these very words, I am resetting your timeline, not according to man's standards, but according to heaven's rhythm. I am the redeemer of time. I can do in a moment what others strive for in a lifetime. I can accelerate growth restore lost opportunities, and open paths that were never visible before. But none of it is rushed, because when I move, it's always right on time. You've been fighting battles that were never meant to be yours, carrying burdens I never asked you to hold. And now I'm inviting you to lay it all down, not to abandon those you love, not to stop caring, but to release the outcome into my hands. I am strong enough to carry them, wise enough to guide them, loving enough to pursue them in ways you cannot. Your role is not to be savior, is to be faithful, to show up, to love well, to intercede, and then to trust that I will do what you cannot. That's not letting go in defeat. It's handing over in victory. Because my strength is made perfect when you finally let me be God. I'm awakening creativity in you again. I'm stirring ideas that had gone dormant. I'm birthing vision in places you thought were shut down for good. You were made to create, to imagine, to build, and dream and speak life. The enemy tried to dull your voice. He tried to mute your passion, but I'm reigniting it now. I'm giving you permission to be inspired again, to try again, to create, not for approval, but from overflow. I want your hands to reflect what's been renewed in your spirit. So paint, write, sing, speak, build, dream. Don't wait until it's perfect. Start while it's still messy. That's where the miracles begin. Even in your weakness, I see beauty. Even in your confusion, I see faith. Even when your steps are shaky, I'm proud of you. I'm not watching from a distance. I'm walking right beside you. Every choice to get up again. Every time you choose hope over despair, every prayer whispered in uncertainty. It all matters to me. I don't need you to impress me. I want your heart, and you've given it again and again, even when it hurt, even when you didn't feel anything in return. That is love. That is faith. That is what delights me most. You are not defined by your lowest moments. You are not limited by your past failures. You are not stuck in the labels others gave you. You are mine. And I call you chosen. I call you worthy. I call you beloved. And my word is final. I've watched you carry the weight of so many expectations, some placed on you by others, some you placed on yourself, and some whispered by a world that never truly knew your worth. You've tried to be strong for everyone. You've held back your tears in the dark so that no one would see you falling apart. You've measured yourself against standards I never set for you, believing the lie that your value is tied to performance or productivity. But child, I never loved you because of what you could do. I loved you because of who you are. I formed you with care. I crafted you with intention. And I have never regretted a single detail of your design. Let go of the shame that has clung to you like a second skin. I see how it tries to speak louder than truth, how it echoes in your mind when you're quiet, how it brings up old memories like accusations in a courtroom. But I am your defense. I am your advocate. I silenced every accusation with the sound of my love. The cross was not a symbol of your failure. Rate was the proof of your worth. When I said it is finished, I meant that shame no longer had the final word. I meant that you are free, truly, completely, and eternally free. Don't pick up chains I've already broken. Don't rehearse wounds I've already healed. There is no condemnation in my presence, only restoration. You've prayed prayers that felt like they hit the ceiling. You've whispered questions with tears in your eyes, wondering if I was listening. And I want you to know, I heard every word, even the ones you didn't say. I heard the sighs you couldn't explain. I saw the silent battles behind your smiles. I collected every tear like treasure. I felt every ache in your soul. I have not been passive. I have not been distant. I've been working in ways you couldn't see, rearranging things on your behalf, preparing a place of peace where chaos once reigned. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. I have been with you every step. Even when you doubted, even when you couldn't feel me at all, there's a version of your life you dreamed about that never came to be. And you've mourned it. You've questioned why certain things didn't happen, why certain doors never opened, why some relationships ended, or why some prayers seemed unanswered. I understand that grief. I honor it. But I want you to know what I'm giving you is better. Not always easier, not always faster, but always deeper, always more eternal. I'm building something you couldn't have imagined on your own, something that aligns with your true purpose, something that will bring you not just happiness but joy, not just success but fulfillment, not just moments but legacy. Trust me with the story I'm writing. I'm the author and I don't make mistakes. Some of the healing you're experiencing now doesn't come from fixing what was broken externally. It comes from realizing what never changed internally. You still carry my image. You still bear my name. You still have my spirit within you. You still carry the same access to heaven's resources. The circumstances may have changed, but your authority hasn't. You are still seated with me in heavenly places. You are still a royal priesthood, still a light in dark places, still a carrier of glory. You are not empty. You are filled. You are not disqualified. You are anointed. And when you begin to see yourself the way I do, everything around you begins to shift. There's someone you need to forgive, and it might be you. You've held yourself hostage to impossible standards. You've beaten yourself up for things you didn't know then, choices you made out of survival, and moments when fear got the better of you. But I never expected perfection. I expected progress, and I see it. I see the growth. I see the effort. I see the desire to do better. That's enough. That's beautiful. And now it's time to release yourself. To bless the past and let it go, to look in the mirror and say, I forgive you, and mean it, because I already have. Because I already called you clean. Because I already called you mine. You keep asking for signs, but child, you are the sign. Your survival is a sign. Your endurance is a sign. Your hope in spite of heartache is a sign. Your faith in the dark is a miracle in motion. You are a walking testimony, not because everything has gone right, but because I've held you through everything that went wrong. And I will keep holding you through the unknown, through the next step, through the new beginning. I will not let go. My grip doesn't slip. My love doesn't weaken. My commitment to you is not based on your consistency, but on my covenant. And that covenant is sealed with my own blood. This world will try to define you by your lowest moment. But I define you by your eternal identity. I call you child. I call you chosen. I call you overcomer. And no one can take that from you. It's not based on the opinions of people, the applause of crowds, or the approval of voices that don't know your journey. It's based on my word. And my word does not return void. So walk with confidence, not arrogance, not pride, but divine boldness. The kind that knows it is loved, accepted, empowered, and sent because you are. You were made for this. You were born for this. And I'm not done writing your story. In fact, the most powerful chapters are still unfolding. You are not merely surviving. You are rising. You are not defined by what happened to you, but by what I am doing in you. And what I am doing is beautiful. It may not always feel that way in the process, but I promise when you see it through my eyes, you'll see it is glorious. Nothing in your life is wasted. Nothing is too broken for me. Nothing is beyond repair. I make all things new. And yes, that includes you. You are a living miracle. A carrier of light, a child of the King, and I will finish what I started in you. You've come through storms that tried to drown you. You've walked through fires meant to consume you. You've been in deserts where nothing seemed to grow, valleys where the silence screamed louder than your prayers, and nights where the weight of pain made it hard to breathe. And yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still open, still reaching for me. That's not weakness, child. That's strength. That's faith. That's the proof that even when everything around you said give up, something deeper in you whispered, hold on. That whisper was me. That strength was me. I've never left your side, not for a moment. And now I'm bringing you into a new season, a season of rebuilding, of reclaiming, of remembering who you are and walking boldly in it. I'm calling the fragments back together, the parts of you that were scattered in grief, shattered by betrayal, numbed by disappointment. I'm bringing them home. I'm not just restoring your strength. I'm restoring your joy. The joy that was buried beneath the weight of responsibility. The joy that got lost when life got hard. The joy that felt too dangerous to feel because hope had become fragile. You don't have to protect yourself from joy anymore. You don't have to brace for the worst. I'm not here to tease you with good only to take it away. I'm not cruel. I'm not playing games with your heart. I am your father, and I am good, always good. And the goodness I'm pouring into your life now is not temporary. It's not a trickle. It's an outpouring, a downpour, a flood of grace, of peace, of promise fulfilled. There will be days when fear tries to creep back in. When the old voices return whispering that nothing has changed. But you don't have to listen. You don't have to entertain lies that no longer belong in your mind. You've been given authority to silence them, to declare the truth out loud when doubt tries to scream. You are not powerless. You are not a victim. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are equipped, empowered, and backed by heaven. Angels surround you. Favor follows you. I go before you, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. You've entered a new dimension, not of striving, but of rest, not of guessing, but of knowing, not of surviving, but of reigning. I'm preparing divine alignments, the kind of connections that accelerate purpose. I'm bringing people into your life who carry what you need and who need what you carry. This won't be based on appearance or status. It will be based on spirit. You'll recognize them by peace, by the way your soul exhales around them. And as I send them, I'll also remove those who only came for the broken version of you. The ones who fed on your pain, but fled from your healing. Let them go. They were part of a chapter, not the whole story. And what's ahead deserves a healed, whole, unapologetic you. I'm also awakening gifts in you that have been dormant. Creativity, vision, discernment, boldness, wisdom. It's all coming alive. You'll begin to sense things you couldn't before. See things you once overlooked. Speak things with clarity and authority you didn't know you had. That's not Pride 8's alignment. It's heaven touching earth through you. You are my vessel, my mouthpiece, my ambassador, and your voice matters. Your story matters. Your obedience matters. Don't underestimate what I can do with one willing soul. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs surrendered ones. And you, my beloved, are fully surrendered. You'll no longer have to force doors open. I'm opening them for you. The ones you knocked on and were denied. The ones that stayed shut no matter how hard you tried. Some of those were for your protection. But now I'm opening doors no man can shut. I'm making a way where there was none. I'm clearing paths, straightening crooked places, leveling obstacles that once seemed immovable. And when you walk through them, you'll know it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was me. Always me guiding you, providing for you, going before you. And when you look back, you won't see a trail of failure. You'll see a thread of faithfulness. My fingerprints on every moment, my mercy in every delay, my hand in every detour. You'll see that what felt like loss was often redirection, that what looked like delay was protection, that what appeared like silence was me working behind the curtain. You'll see that I was never punishing you. I was preparing you. And now you're ready. Ready to rise, ready to walk in fullness, ready to love without fear, ready to lead with compassion, ready to build what I've placed in your heart, ready to step into the life that once felt too far away. This is your moment. This is your time. Not because everything is perfect, but because I am perfecting you day by day, glory to glory, grace upon grace. So lift your head, straighten your spine, breathe deeply. You made it through the night, and now morning has come, a morning of clarity, a morning of power, a morning of answered prayers and divine appointments. You are not who you were. You are not where you were. You are being transformed, and nothing can stop what I've started in you. Not fear, not failure, not delay, not even you. I will complete this good work. I will finish what I began, because I am not just the God who starts. I am the God who sees it through, and I never let go of what I love. Amen. And now, child of light, if this word touches something deep in you, don't keep it to yourself. Let it speak life to others. Share it with someone who needs this reminder. Let the healing that began in you flow to someone else. And if you want more moments like this, more words from my heart to yours, make sure you stay connected. Subscribe, follow, leave a comment, or share. Not for fame, not for numbers, but to spread my light. You are part of something bigger now. And I'm just getting started. Stay close.